Today I'm here mapping out a guide for those of you who care what my thoughts are on PvP in Diablo Immortal, but more importantly, a powerless PvP in Diablo Immortal. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo. Welcome back to the channel, and as you know, I'm the PvP, the player versus player advocate for Diablo Immortal. I'm the guy that wants to see different PvP modes brought to the game. A game which in the past typically doesn't have PvP, or where it was done in the past and it didn't work. Now, first of all, let's outline why PvP did not work in the past. Well, you would have to go into these PvP matches with the gear that you farmed, with the gear that you've built, with the amazing builds that you have, and you'd be going against players with less power, essentially. And what would happen is you would go and completely melt your opponents, which was not much PvP at all. You would just go in, dominate if you were one of those stronger players, and win, and it would be over. And for the other players, it would really suck. It would be bad. It would be boring. It wouldn't be fun. It would be discouraging as well, maybe not wanting you to do that. So the answer here is very easy for me. It's very clear. It's clear as day for me, and that is a powerless PvP. Now, what do I mean by powerless PvP? Powerless means anything that you've grinded in the game, your gear, your weapons, your gems, your charms, any power whatsoever is stripped from you from these PvP modes. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't have things like we're watching on the screen, the Rite of Exile, where you are able to battle with your gear against other alliances, clans, and stuff like that. But the game modes that I'm talking about are going to be a separate part of Diablo Immortal, a separate game mode inside of Diablo Immortal, and there's two specific ones that we're going to touch on today. One of them being Battle Royale, which is something similar to what we've seen in a game from this genre called A3 Still Alive. That's on mobile. It's the only game doing this that's an action RPG that I'm aware of, and it's done very well. Let me map this out for you before I go into the next gameplay mode that we want to talk about. So in this Battle Royale mode, you drop into a realm filled with demons, filled with things and enemies that you need to battle. Upon dropping in, you have nothing. You drop in shirtless and you have really no gear. You may have fists, you may have like one basic weapon to start out. It really doesn't matter as long as it's standard across of all the players. What you'll then do are battle these enemies, these computer NPCs, these enemies that are generated by the computer, and upon killing them, you'll get gear. Maybe you'll get a helmet, maybe you'll get a weapon, maybe you'll get a gem, or maybe you'll get a skill unlock. Things like that you can earn from killing these computer generated enemies. At any point during this, you could also battle other real people that also dropped into the world. Now, since you're all dropping in with the same power, which is no power, depending on how much you farm up before you attack people and how much they farm up before they get attacked, depends on how that battle is going to go. Essentially, what would happen is the first few minutes of these battles, people would be farming these enemies, taking down these demons, and getting equipment drops, gear drops, gem drops, skill drops, so you can then outfit your character with that. Then you go into battle. Any of the stuff that you farm in the real game, from in-game events, from the campaign, from Elder Rifts, all of that is not relevant in this game mode. All of that can be relevant in other game modes that are being done, like the Rite of Exile right here inside of what's currently part of Diablo Immortal. So in a nutshell, that is what I mean by powerless PvP. PvP that doesn't let you use gear that you've gotten, that you've farmed, that you've grinded, that you've earned from other events in the game. But there's another game mode that this can really work well with. Now, what is that game mode? You already know. It's a team deathmatch game mode. The best thing that we can compare this game mode to is a game that you all know and that Activision Blizzard knows very well, which is Call of Duty Mobile. Inside of Call of Duty Mobile, if you want to do some PvP stuff, 5v5, you also have domination, capture the flag. All of those things could be part of this as well, but the most popular ones are going to be Battle Royale and Team Deathmatch. So those are the ones that I think Blizzard should be focusing on from day one. Now, what is this going to look like? When you log into the game, you would go to your 5v5 mode. Inside of there, you would be able to choose your class. Are you going to be the monk? Are you going to be the wizard? Are you going to be the demon hunter? Are you going to be the barbarian, the necromancer, the crusader? Which one are you going to choose? they all come gearless. Then you have all your gear slots, all your weapon slots, all your equipment slots empty, and you get to choose the equipment you want. So what you're essentially able to do right here is build a max level character, because you're in this mode and everyone's able to do it for whatever character that they want. So you're gonna choose your weapon, your helmet, your shoulders, your legs, all of those things. You can then socket whatever gems you want into them as well. You also can then choose the skills that you want to assign to that character. And of course, you're gonna be able to save these loadouts. If we could have at least one loadout for each character, that would be ideal. If we could have more than that, it would be even better, because you're gonna wanna have different builds for different characters, but at least one for each character, which would equal a total of 6 builds inside of the game, that after you build them, you can name them and preset it. That way, next time you go in, you can just choose one that you're already comfortable with. I know that for me in Call of Duty Mobile, I have one loadout that I love, and I use the same one every time. Nothing changes, and I just continuously use that same one because it's a weapon I love, it's the perks that I love. Same deal here. Why not take that model and bring it here to Diablo Immortal? The only argument I could understand that people would say as to why to not do this is because it's not typically what dungeon crawlers are. It's not typically what Diablo games have been in the past. But also, Diablo games in the past haven't been Shadows versus Immortals. There haven't been Heliquaries. These things are all new to the game. So in my opinion, why not bring one of the most popular game modes, or two of the most popular game modes of all gaming, mostly in the shooter genre, to Diablo Immortal and do something that has not really been done. Now, yes, A3 Still Alive has brought the Battle Royale mode to the game, but it's a much smaller franchise, it's a much smaller game, and it really doesn't have the push that Diablo Immortal is going to have. Now, I want to thank all of you for already commenting below, telling me how great my ideas are. I agree with you. I hope that Blizzard watches this and understands the vision that I have for this, and maybe it could possibly be a thing. Of course, this is their game, it's not mine. I'm here to play it, I'm not here to build it, but I know that they do listen, and I know that they do, take ideas from people. Does that mean that Team Deathmatch and Battle Royale are coming to Diablo Immortal? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean that I think it's a great idea and it would make for a better Diablo Immortal? 100%. Now, I know that it's probably split. I know some of you watching this are probably going to say, no, this is a horrible idea. That's not Diablo. That's not what Diablo does. And that is true. Until Diablo starts doing it. That's when it becomes something. Because, I mean, you got to evolve with the times. You got to stick with what is hot if you want to have yourself a hot game. Not saying that Diablo Immortal is not going to be amazing even without these PvP modes, because it definitely will. The game, as you already know my thoughts, is incredible, but I would love to see this in it. Hopefully, Blizzard agrees with me, and we'll be surprised upon the next beta launch, and I will literally cry with joy. Now, if you haven't already gone down to the comments section below and you love Diablo Immortal, why don't you pop on down there right now and type in more Diablo Immortal. This tells me exclusively that you want to see more content for Diablo Immortal, and I'm bringing it to you either way. While you're down there though, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, because when that bell rings, I want hundreds of you dropping in, thousands of you dropping into the video, excited for another Diablo Immortal video, and maybe you will be the one to drop in and be able to write first. And then I can come in and pop a heart on it. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's discussion. I know I touch on PvP quite a bit, and it's really because it's what I'm passionate about. So PvP, Diablo Immortal, it's just passion fest. That's what we're talking about. It's gonna happen. But I'll see you back here tomorrow with another Diablo Immortal video. Have a great day. I appreciate you guys, and be good.